Shalom, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakadash, Deb honors to the apostles, Deb honors to the others, a great millstone. Salutations to you, Akim, that are teaching the truth as a city across the four corners of the earth. This lesson is going into the up-and-coming famine that's behind a lot of these catastrophic events. You know, it's already a famine in other parts of the world, but mainly over here in America, it hasn't reached its peak, such as Venezuela and other countries such as Hades and other countries that hasn't been named by the mainstream media as to being in that case. But it's hitting home. It's hitting here in America, Babylon the Great, which is proclaimed to be the land of milk and honey, but it's not. And this article proves it, and other articles proves it as well. And not only these articles, but the reality in many of these towns, cities, and states in America. You see the increase of homelessness and food drives, people waiting in lines in their cars or outside of their cars for foods. These churches are giving out boxes of foods to people. Some of the churches, they charge maybe inexpensive amount of money for large quantities of food, which, you know, if you probably would have got at a grocery store, probably would have paid more for it. But these are the times that we're living in. Now, I'm going to start off with this article, then I'm going to hit up a few scriptures on this video. It says, Feeding America. For people facing hunger, poverty is just one issue. So with this gas shortage and people receiving UBIs and not being able to go back to work, or their jobs are back opening and they are telling people to come back to work. Most people don't even want to come back to work. They're not in the spirit to work anymore. And also they was receiving more at home, receiving a stimulus check rather than going to work, busting their tail for little to nothing. Then you got the housing prices rising, not only in the housing, but also in renting apartments. The prices are going up on that. You know, it's just all type of catastrophic things happening here in America. The infrastructure of America is being destroyed. And it's all because the Lord is delivering the children of Israel from hell, and the Lord is tearing down Esau's kingdom. It says right here, for people facing hunger, poverty is just one issue. Before the COVID pandemic, 35 million experienced hunger. Poverty is one of the factors that affect a person's ability to have enough food to meet their needs. Yet up to 2/3 of people facing hunger have incomes above the federal poverty line. And the federal poverty line is 24,000. So the people that have well over that may be living in middle class areas. Most likely they are. They're beginning to feel that fire that the people that was receiving income around the poverty line income, or if you're working and you still don't exceed that income amount, such as $24,000, then you are in poverty. So the people that was already in that, it was a boatload of them. Now the middle class is feeling it. This is the vision of the extremely poor and extremely rich. The elite are cashing in their chips. Like it says in James chapter 5, they have nourished their hearts in the last days. But this is the day of judgment, and they're not going to be able to enjoy that the new world order, because the Lord is coming back to destroy it. Now it says right here, facts about poverty and hunger in America. Even in the world's greatest food producing nation, children and adults face poverty and hunger in every county across America. So true. In 2019, 34 million people, that's before the pandemic crisis. 2019, when everything was so-called normal. But it wasn't normal. Everything that's happening right now in 2021, it was already here. It's just more transparent now, and it's not hiding anymore. It's coming out. It's coming out the woodworks. In 2019, 34 million people lived in poverty in America for a family of 4. That means earning just $25,000 per year. Before, that's 34 million. What is it, like 300 million Americans in America as the census state? But what if that 34 million ain't right? What if it's higher than that, which it is? And it says, so I mean, this, we're at the end, man. Everything about America being prestigious is all a lie. The harlot is lifting, or has lifted up his skirt. Before the coronavirus, it's like before the COVID-19 pandemic, more than 35 million people face hunger in the United States, including more than 10 million children. A household that is food insecure has limited or uncertain access to enough food to support a healthy life. And Esau knows this, man. These jobs ain't paying enough. The mortgage and the rent over here in America has increased to staggering numbers. And they work people around the clock so much. It's like, it's madness, man. And receiving nothing. It goes to show you the power of the dollar is collapsing. It says children are more likely to face food insecurity than any other group in the United States. Why? Because children don't have a job. Children can't provide food for themselves. They can't provide really anything for themselves. The COVID-19 pandemic has left millions of families without stable employment. Even though those UBIs and stimulus packages went out, it still wasn't enough. It still ain't enough to this day. And they're taking away that welfare for the people and forcing them to go out and get a job, which it ain't no jobs left. But these retailing jobs, which they only pay $8 an hour anyway, or you may go to Amazon, but the hours ain't enough, and $15 an hour really ain't really enough anyway to balance out paying rent or mortgage and get food. I read an article earlier about 40% of your income is going to food because of inflation. So Just wait for the chip, which they're going to have everybody to be forced to get because of the changing of the reserve currency system, which is the dollar system, and have this microchip implanted in you to eat, to buy and sell. Now, that's what they're causing. It's just a reset on the system. And it says, the COVID-19 pandemic has left millions of families without stable employment. More than 42 million people, including 13 million children, may experience food insecurities. But meanwhile, Esau paint this picture as everything is okay in America. Jobs are coming back. Unemployment percentage is down. Children are going back to school. Everything is good. No, it ain't. So many shortages. List of major consumer goods affected by supply chain interruptions. Some analysts blame COVID-19 for an apparent chicken supply shortage. Man, it's a shortage really on damn near everything, man. And that's the Lord stripping Esau from his power. Also, the elite, they're whoring up everything within their nuclear bunkers, preparing for what's in the future to come, which it ain't 5-10 years down the line. It's more like a year or two, if that. How everything is going with Russia, Ukraine, and Iran and Gaza, or Palestine over there battling each other, which can ignite something major to where America steps in and other countries are stepping in concerning the matter. So these elite banking firms, they know what's going on, man. And it says right here, it says chicken, lumber, microchips, gas, steel, metals, chlorine, and ketchup packets. They said there's a shortage on this. What do they have all in common? They are nearly impossible to find, especially cleaning supplies such as these Clorox wipes and chlorine. They was really hard to get when this pandemic came. And you would be like, dang, why all of these things are absent when this is the time to really need them? To use them. Shortages are popping up across the supply chain as the pandemic messes with shipping, demand, supply, and all the other levers of the global economy. Yeah, these gas shortages. Only few gas stations have gas pumps available, but there's only few. You have a long line of cars waiting to get that pump that's at the gas station. This is just a domino effect to everybody going to the government for solutions. And this is all part of the elite banking family plans. This is 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 17. Woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? This is Ezra's talking. Ezra saw himself in the future. The prophets back then, they knew about reincarnation. Really, the whole nation of Israel, they knew about reincarnation. So this is what Ezra is talking about in the latter days, which he's going to be in his lot in the latter days as a prophet. Verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers should stand in fear. And these things are happening, yo. It speaks about the beginning of sorrows in Matthew chapter 24, when the 12 disciples asked Yahushua in the Mount of Olives concerning the latter days and what should the signs be. 2 Ezra chapter 9 verse 1 said, measure thou the time diligently within itself. All these things that the scriptures are talking about are happening right in front of our eyes in reality. You got the sorrows everywhere. The mirth is taken out of the cities, especially here in Babylon the Great. It says in great mournings, family members being murdered, killed, every which way. Is numerous amounts of different news outlets posting family members being murdered or killed in an accident. It's just chaos out here, man. Uproars of the people. The love of many shall wax cold, because the iniquity is abounding in the earth. It says the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers should stand in fear. Yeah, the elite banking family, they are standing in fear. That's why they're probably in their bunkers now. You know, like I mentioned, the food shortages, all the food is going into those bunkers, man. And they're going to feed you people insects. They're going to feed you MREs, meal-ready meals, which are really not real food. Well, they're going to feed you things that you're not used to eating. And it says, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So these things coming to pass is sent from the Lord for amendments. This is preparing our minds to be in stability, according to Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6, because the things that's happening, people are bugging out for and committing suicide over. We're just going flat out of their minds because these things are happening. But men of the Lord are not going to bug out, because the men of the Lord already knows what's about to happen pursuant to prophecies. Verse 20, but for all these things, they should not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Yeah. People in general, and mainly particular you Jakes, you're still going to the clubs, you're still partying, you're still in this folly mode, passive mode. Jake still going to the army for a better life, as they say. Jake thinking that this society is going to be back running, etc., man. The list goes on. A lot of Jake down at these block parties, these club events, these festivities events. That's Jake being not mindful of the wickedness that's here on the earth. And the Lord is giving Jake over to those things. Verse 21, behold, victuals should be so good cheap upon earth. Yeah, your McDonald's, Chipotle's, Burger King's. So people think they're a good case because they can pull up to the drive-thru at Wendy's, get a dollar burger get the dollar menu. That they should think themselves to be in good case. And even then should evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. This is happening worldwide, and especially here in America. It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So all you preppers out there, your prepping is in vain. Your prepping is really for whom the Lord wants it, and ultimately the elect of the Lord. Because the Lord said his servants should eat and drink, but those that are not chosen shall mourn and howl for vexation. And the dead should be cast out as dung, and there should be no man to comfort them. For the earth should be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. Yeah. There's going to be no more work out here, which is already in that shape anyway. Isaiah chapter 32, verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. And this is not only talking about the women. It's also talking about the sons as well. And it says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. And the vintage is failing. You know, people are not able to work. And also people that are working, they have to pay the high rent or high bill. And besides that, get as much food as they can, but it's not enough for them to be okay with. And like I just read in these articles, is food shortages here in America. Millions of people are in a food insecurity right now. So these things are happening. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. And a lot of you women are at ease of the nation of Israel. And not only the women, the men too. Because your men is supposed to be the heads. Not only pertaining to of the woman, but you should be a man of the Lord. Seeking the Lord and not going out here robbing, killing, murdering your own brothers. Being in a dark, reprobate mind. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats. Yeah, you Jakes out there, you are lamenting right now because the Lord is causing this famine in the land. For the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Yeah. This government welfare is halting. You know, I took a trip past the DFAS office in Decatur, and the building was closed. You know, the building was closed. That's where mainly a lot of welfare recipients go to receive food stipends. It goes to show you that the Lord is causing the teats and the vintage to be halted. or stall. This is Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, said the Lord, power, that I will send a famine in the land. And the next famine is going to be the word of life, which is the scripture, or these scriptures, this word. Not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. That's the next famine besides the actual food famine that the Lord has already commenced upon the land. So, Jake, repent. It's best to get this bread of life, which is the word of the Lord, than actual physical food, which the Lord already know what you need anyway, pursuant to Matthew chapter 6, before you even ask him. But like the Lord said, be not like the heathen, because the Lord knoweth what we need before we ask him. And then the rest will be added to you. The Lord said, seek ye the kingdom of heaven first, then all things should be added to you. So while these things are happening, the Lord wants us to be even more fervent for him, because the Most High is causing these catastrophic measures in the land, the famine, the pestilence, the plagues, the confusions, the stress. The Lord is causing these things. And the Lord wants us to turn back to him so he can set up a standard for us, whether we be martyrs or not, so that we can have the Spirit of the Lord upon us to not feel the things that are coming and that are already here. So this is just a short lesson. Hopefully it was edifying to the elect. Shalom.